SeeSaw played melee.
You know, the first time I met this guy, I thought it was sea salt. Like the great condiment, I guess.
SeeSaw actually has a very unusual origin for his name. He was going into like runes and like I don't understand what it was, but like
Are they going?
I don't know.
This is hand warmers.
Yeah, it looks like Ganon here.
This is cool.
Yeah, I have to ask him about that sometime.
You mean like chat rooms or like
No, like RUNES.
runes?
Like it was just
Yeah.
like I didn't understand really what he was talking about, but I don't know. He seemed to have a very specific, like a lot more specific than I saw a SeeSaw in a playground and I decided to name myself after it.
Yo, there are some names that are just like that. Like my buddy Rat, he was like, when he
Yeah.
picked his name, he was like, I know for sure it's gonna be an animal. I tried cat, it was taken, and then I tried rat. And I was like, are you for real?
I I think that's a fantastic tag though. It's like calling yourself Rat. Like it's so self-deprecating, but it's still kind of cool. Like
You know,
rats are like street savvy animals, you know.
I was just wise, just like cunning.
Yeah.
All right, I like what he's doing with the up airs. So he's not pressuring in the right space.
I don't think I've seen either of these players play. That was
Wow.
a surprising tipper. I didn't think
Webbs only plays melee, and he's been getting better, but some questionable pressure sometimes.
Webb still is relatively new to melee.
Yeah, this is his first year.
Yeah.
Amazing grab.
Teleported real quick.
So I've been watching that illusion really carefully as Marth. Sometimes when you're on stage like that, you don't jab, you actually short hop fair. Has more knockback. And it catches illusion just nicely.
From what I understand, you need to hit illusion. You can't hit illusion in the first 1/3 of its travel path because it's invincible during that. Is that correct?
I think it's something like that. There's also like, you often catch the last half of it and it does nothing. So it's like,
Oh,
it's
okay.
very specific timing. You have to actually predict, I think. So that's nice up out of shield. SeeSaw is not fast falling his aerials or not doing them low enough. I can't tell yet. That one's definitely not low
Yeah.
enough.
It's a good jab reset.
That's good.
It's a good juggle.
Oh, he got caught in his wave dash.
Oh.
Yeah, got F smashed. Well, it seems like Webbs is much more seasoned. SeeSaw plays PM?
Yes, he's a Wario main in PM.
Okay, very cool.
He's one of those players who's just kind of on the cusp of beating the top players. Like he gets close all the time, but he just doesn't do it.
Very cool. I'll look him out. I'll look for him in the bracket because I entered today. Okay, push off the shield. Very basic coverage right there.
There's a good read right there.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to recover like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you do a push off like that, like you can actually just start planning ahead so far, like maybe doing a grab or like a drop zone fair. If you can knock people off a platform, it's just a little hard to predict.
Yeah, it's one of the worst situations to be put in that I could imagine.
Just all of a sudden lose control, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a very fast change of characters. I know a lot of new players don't even know that you're supposed to announce the stage before you switch.
Yeah, or I think a lot of them just don't really care. They don't really understand the nuances of the counter pick game.
Yeah, I mean it's the hardest thing to learn. You need experience with that,
Yeah.
especially when like you eventually lose a match because like he counterpicked my counterpick.
And stage counter picks especially, that's the easiest way to lose a match without knowing why you just lost the match
Yeah.
specifically.
You're just like I like the stage, but I don't know these matchups.
Now he's doing a lot of raw
Side B.
Side Bs.
Yeah,
He's got a 1 out of 2 completion rate and a down B too.
yeah, it's pretty successful. Do you remember the side B name?
Dolphin. Oh, Gerudo Dragon.
Oh, it's Dragon. Okay,
Gerudo Dragon,
Wizard
yes.
Foot and Gerudo Dragon.
Now, I don't know how it is in Melee that much, but I know in Brawl and in PM, Ganondorf's down B can be used to pretty good effect when Marth is just spacing with F airs. Because it's a fast...
It hits high, but the startup is kind of terrible.
Yeah, like in PM, it's a lot faster startup, and it hits farther too, so the risk outweighs... Or the reward outweighs the
Yeah,
risk.
they definitely buff special moves. So nice job by SeeSaw spacing out a back air. I am not on the same page with him on that aerial down B.
Yeah.
They buffed it in PM, of course, so that you can actually use the landing hitbox to good use.
Yeah, it turns into kind of a mix-up, a landing mix-up, where you put them in their shield when you're right above them. And,
And then the double hitbox. Yep.
Yeah.
So I like how Webs is playing this. You actually have to control the center and then keep edging the other character outwards. Very similar to Falcon.
Yeah, it seems like good spacing would be very important for Marth in this matchup, even more so than a lot of characters, because Ganon's going to be trying to do the same thing as you, just with slightly worse tools.
He's one of the few characters that can actually, fight at range against Marth.
Yeah,
the fair.
Just, I feel like Ganon, it is somewhat harder for Ganon. I think
Interesting.
if it wasn't for
Oh, no jump. That was
the
fast.
increased rewards on, or the relatively higher rewards for Ganon landing a move than Marth, then I think it'd be really tough for
It'd be a
Ganon.
tough match, yeah. But because he can convert so much, it gets closer to even. But the skill